Welcome to But I'm a Lesbian, the podcast where we serve alt baddie sass, queer film reviews, and everything in between. Whether you're a baby gay
or a queer elder, we're here, we're queer, and we're diving deep into all things lesbian. We're your hosts, Caitlin
and Angelina.
Get ready for some sapphic serotonin. This week, we are discussing the Y2K era Lifetime film. I'm sorry, I burped you guys. It's really quiet.
I thought you were like choking up about the movie.
I was like, oh my God, I should have played it off like that. Okay, so this week we are talking about The Truth About Jane. So, this film is, well, it's very important. It's very Lifetime. It is a sad reminder of how there are so many people that don't have supportive families, so many LGBTQ plus people whose families are not supportive of them, and many don't even have a supportive circle of friends.
Mm-hmm.
So it can be really hard to come out, and not having any support or positive queer role models to look up to can make it even harder. So if anyone is listening and feels that way, we're here. Okay.
We can be your role models.
Yeah, it gets better. I know it always sounds so cheesy, but it really does. I remember feeling like just like such a weirdo and all like the only gay person because I didn't know any others.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
You're not the only one. We're here. We're queer.
You are not
Get used
alone.
to it.
Yeah.
Yes. So I wanted to ask Angie, did you have any older LGBTQ plus people in your life when you were growing up?
I did. Actually, there was a cousin that I have. I'll not say his name for his privacy.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone in the family always knew that he was gay, and even though he never like came out to any of us, people obviously like where my family lives, like my extended family, they all lived in the same town, and they had like seen him with like boyfriends, but he would always say that they're like friends, you know?
Yeah.
And so I understand like the pressure of not wanting to come out. His mom is very traditional, and he just never said, but like nobody, I guess, ever said anything to him about it. It was sort of like an unspoken thing,
Yeah.
you know? But I felt like whereas some families where they know that a person is gay, whether they've said it or it's like, I guess they guess on their behavior or whatever else, they're usually like, stay away from that person, don't talk to them, whatever. But I felt like growing up, none of my family members ever said like anything of that sort.
Mm-hmm.
If something like that came up, you know, but not necessarily like, I guess, criticizing him, it was always just like, yeah, that's, you know, that's just him.
Yeah.
So I think it was kind of nice to have that, even though we've never talked. Now that I'm like out an adult, I've never told him like, oh my God, tell me about like when did you realize you were gay, you know? But that's the only person in my family that I know of other than myself. And then I believe my cousin, who's around the same age, a little bit older than me is, but she didn't come out until probably like around the same time I did, I think.
Yeah.
But that's like the only people that I knew of.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you?
I don't think there was anyone in my family. My mom's side of the family is very small, so there's like no cousins or aunts and uncles because she was an only child. I'm an only child.
Yeah.
Her mom was an only child. So
wow.
there's not, that side of the family is very small.
Yeah.
My dad's side of the family is like way bigger. He has a lot of siblings, and so there are a lot of cousins, but I don't think there was anyone that was
Like,
out or anything, or even
Yeah.
anyone that we suspected was gay.
Oh, okay.
I think I'm kind of a trendsetter. No,
That's so cool, though. You probably are.
I'm an older one of the cousins. I only have two cousins older than me, and one of them I think is bi, but I don't think she was out about it until after I came out. And then
you did say,
yes,
you are a
and then
trendsetter.
now her younger sibling I think is also bi and non-binary. And then there's another even younger cousin that's actually your age that is bi.
Cool.
And then there's some other like farther away cousins. Like I think they're like my dad's cousins, so they're like first cousins once removed.
Okay.
One is a lesbian that is
Oh,
married to a
cool.
woman. But I've actually never really like met her. I think
Yeah.
I might have met her when I was a kid. She's like 10 years older than me, so she
Okay.
was like a cool older like cousin. I didn't really meet her. And then another cousin from that same like side of the family that I met once, I think. Anyway, point being, I didn't really have anyone to like look up to and see as like you can be a gay person and have like a normal life.
Yeah.
When I was like 12 to like 14, my mom was really good friends with this couple who were really good friends with a gay couple. And so it was like they were kind of my mom's friends, but they were really like best friends with my mom's friends.
Yeah.
So they were gay men that I saw, and I knew that like my mom was friends with them and like was okay with it. Did you think of something?
I did, but for some reason it was like when you were talking about your mom and like she was friends with them.
Yeah.
I almost thought you were going to say like, and then my mom had like a phase-ish thing. Cause the way, I don't know. I was like, that can't be right. I don't think you ever told me that.
My mom did have maybe a phase, but it was way after that. It was like way after I came out. She said that she like maybe hooked up with someone.
Oh, I guess just to
try it out. Yeah.
Oh, wow. You outed your mom.
I don't know. I don't know. That might have just been a rumor. I don't know. I'm not sure, you guys. Anyway, so let's move on. Do you have any hot takes or burning desires that you want to share about this movie?
Okay. I feel like my hot take definitely would have been maybe, I don't know. It's kind of hard because I did like this movie, but maybe her mom, Jane's mom, could have like, I guess,
not been such a cunt.
Yeah, but I feel like that was part of her character development. But I wanted there to be a little bit more of like a conversation towards the end. Like it was nice that spoiler, obviously, that she showed up to Pride and stuff, and like there's. That was like in itself a big thing for her, but I feel like I had wanted there to be like more of a, like, I do support you and I love you and I'm also sorry for being such a bitch.
Yes.
And like making you like go through all this.
Yeah.
But what about you?
I do wish that, but I just wish she wasn't such a cunt bitch. Like I said.
She's also Rizzo.
Girl, I wrote about that in my notes. Grease is one of my favorite movies. So the actress that plays the mom, the bitch mom, is
the fucking cunt that we hate.
Stupid fucking cunt bitch mom, homophobic bitch. Is Stockard Channing, who is Rizzo from Grease, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. And she's also one of the aunts in one of my other favorite movies of all time, Practical Magic. And what else?
No. Oh, no. I was just going to say, yeah, she's absolutely amazing. And when I said like, oh my God, Rizzo. And then I was like, God, you're making me hate you.
I know. But I'm like, she's a good actress. She made me believe that she was a homophobic bitch. And I feel like she's not.
She can't be.
She can't be. She's been in Hollywood for so long. She can't be a homophobe.
People surprise you though. But I want to say she's not.
No. And also, she has really beautiful eyes.
She does.
But she's a bitch in this movie. But like, I just have always noticed she has like really pretty eyes. And no, it was so funny because my wife, when we were watching this movie, was like, oh my God, who is she? She looks like she's from something. And I was like, she's Rizzo. And she's like, no, she's from something else. And I was like, oh, Practical Magic. She's like, yes, that's where she's from. So anyway, she's been in a million things. She's famous. She's Stockard Channing. But anyway, what I said for my hot take was that this movie shows how important it is to have queer representation. Yeah. And there is so much more available now than there was when this movie came out in like 1999. Mm-hmm. But not all kids are allowed to watch secular TV. Like there are kids that are raised very religious and they can only see things that are approved by their church and things like that. And it's just a reminder of one of the main reasons that we do this podcast is like, I want to be there for people that are maybe feeling alone in their queerness and don't have anyone, to see that there is happiness in being gay. You can have like a happy gay life.
A happy person. You can be a successful person and get married to a woman like Caitlyn.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Like, I feel like obviously when you watch things and it's like celebrities and stuff like that, like it seems so nice, but it's also in a way unattainable. Whereas we're real people and this is actually our lives, you know? So yeah, I feel like if I had watched us, like people like us doing this when I was younger, then, you know, maybe I don't know. Maybe I would have came out sooner. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I think about it because like my niece has always known us as like a couple.
Yeah.
And I think that's really cool. Part of me is like, I wish I had lesbian aunts when I was growing up. How cool would that be? But I'm really happy for her because no matter what she, you know, her orientation and gender identity ends up being, like she knows that there are people that are gay and like have a happy life. You know? Did I ever tell you the cutest thing she ever said to me? I don't know.
Tell me.
Okay. One time, I feel like she was like, you know, when kids get like really like hyper and like she was having a lot of feelings, but she was like, I want to experience everything in your life.
Aww.
And I thought it was the cutest thing ever. I'm like, oh, she loves my life. She's probably like, wow, this is so cool. You get to live in a house with just my other Thea and all the animals. Like, that's so cool.
She's like, I love that, actually.
I know. So I'm like, I try to see my life through her lens because she's like, whoa, this is so awesome. And you have stairs. Because the first time she went to our old apartment, it was like, I think the first time she went to a house that had stairs because their house is all one level. And she thought they were the coolest thing. She just wanted to hang out on the stairs.
She's like, yeah, this is it. So cute.
When we got this house, we were like, it has to have multiple levels because Alexa loves stairs.
Aww.
And the cats love stairs too. They like to go up and down them. Anyway, okay, so that was a kind of long rambling way to talk about that. But we are going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we'll get into the recap. So check out if there are any small town gay raves near you while we are away.
Welcome back to I'm a Lesbian. This week we are discussing the truth about Jane.
Yes. Okay, I wasn't sure who was going to say the welcome back part.
I know. I like how we were
sorry, guys. There was like a weird, awkward moment. We're like, what? Okay, so yes. Okay, first I got to tell you, I didn't write about this, but I think it's special. Fortune Feimster, who is one of my favorite comedians and is 1/3 of my favorite podcast besides us. She is one of the hosts of the Handsome Pod. This movie is like how she realized she was gay. And I think that's really cute. So I don't think I had seen this movie till I heard Fortune talking about it. And she was like, I watched this Lifetime movie when I was like 25 and I realized I was a lesbian. And I like called my mom, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? And she said it was called The Truth About Jane. And so I was like, I gotta watch this movie.
Yeah.
And it is really good. But anyway, I think that's really special.
That is, especially like, you know your own thing or whatever that it is that made you like discover your sexuality, but it's always cool hearing other people's like movies or experiences that they were like, that's when I knew I was gay.
Yes.
And it's like, oh my God, you know?
Yeah. And I love that she's so open about it because she is not as late in life as some people, but like she was like, I was an adult before I realized, you know? And I think a lot of people that rings true for them and that helps them, you know, to see like, oh, she was literally like out of college and like living her life.
I didn't know she came out at 25 either.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Good for her, right? Good for everybody, even if you come out like later in life.
Yes.
Live your truth. Yes. No matter the age.
I was be like, so live your life. Anyway, anywho, okay, so.
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, we're opening on a hospital scene. And this is when Jane is being born. So the movie's called The Truth About Jane. Jane is going to be the main character.
Yes.
The mom is played by Stockard Channing of Rizzo from Grease fame. The mom's name is Janice. So you know, because at first I kept writing, mom said, mom, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, I should probably write her actual name.
Oh, Janice.
Janice. And so Jane is like narrating this film. So like grown up Jane is narrating her birth, basically. And she explains that her parents tried for a long time to have a baby. And so I think, you know, she was kind of like a miracle to them because they tried for a long time. Let's also talk about how weird it is when straight people are like, we're trying for a baby. And it's like, cool. So you're just fucking all the time. Thank you for telling me.
Is it right?
It's so
you never think
awkward.
about it, but they're like, yeah, we've been trying so much lately.
We're just fucking
and it's just
all
not
the time.
working. Yeah, you're just like,
oh, cool. Now I don't know if I like that image. Thank you. But so it seems like when she was like a baby and growing up, they really doted on her.
Yeah.
Then we see at her first birthday party, her mom is pregnant again. So then she gets dethroned very quickly after being born. And we see her, we skip ahead. We see her first day of school. So she's like 5, going to kindergarten. And the parents are all sad, especially because the mom like doesn't want her to go yet. She wants to still hang out with her. So she is like, her parents, I think that they're showing us they love her a lot, right?
Yeah.
Then we skip ahead to her first day of high school. And that is in the year 2000, which I thought they were trying to be futuristic because this came out in 1999. So they were like, we're making it 2000. It's like in the new millennium. I don't know. I thought it was interesting. And we see her go to English class, and Miss Walcott is her teacher. She's very pretty and she has short hair. Does that mean she's a lesbian? Who knows? I think it might be a sign, though.
I think so, too.
Yeah. And then we see Jane at lunch with her friends, and they're like talking about how it's like not fair that they're not in the same class or whatever. Yeah. So they don't have classes together, especially English, whatever. And then the girls are talking about this one boy being cute, and he smiles at her, and like they're like, oh, he likes you. And then he comes to say hi to everyone, and they're like, oh my God, he loves you, you know? And he has that silly like 90s, early 2000s boy hair that's like spiky.
Yeah.
I was like,
so funny though, because they're like, he loves you.
I know.
Like, okay, yeah.
Okay, whatever. But he was obviously like looking at her when he was talking to them.
Yeah.
He was like most interested in her. And the girls are like, oh my God, you should be his girlfriend. And she's like, whatever, guys. And then they're like, why don't you like anyone yet? We need to jumpstart your hormones. So, okay, she's like just not really told them she has any crushes on boys or anything yet. And then we see Jane at home. She's doing homework, and her mom is like, do you want to have a girls' day on Saturday? And it's cute. Like they have like a cute relationship. Then we see them eating This is not really important to the story, but we see them eating dinner, and they have this huge spread of food. It's like fucking Thanksgiving.
It's a feast for them every day.
And did your family actually ever do that? Like, did you have, like, for a regular dinner, did you have, like, lots of food on the table? Or did you eat at the table?
Sometimes, yeah, but we kind of had like a small table, so it was like pushed against the wall. So like whoever got there first would eat at the table. Okay. And then sometimes like we ate at different times. So like rarely we would sit down. Yeah. And then other times it was like, okay, if you're eating first, and you sit down and eat. And then usually, other than my mom, she's a slow eater, we all eat pretty fast. So we're like, boom, done.
Okay, your turn.
Moving on next. We're like waiting in line. But that was a big ass table.
I know.
With a lot of food.
I feel like they're kind of rich.
Yeah.
Is the vibe that I got. Here's my natural white trashiness. I never ate at the table. We ate on TV trays. Like a real American family.
Yeah,
you gotta watch
America.
Yeah, and, you know, I had to get up and get my stepdad beers, his natural lights every once in a while. And my mom, you know, there was a point in my life where my stepdad would give me $1 a night for getting him beers whenever he wanted it. So
wow.
Yes, I was making money. But it was annoying because it was like they each drank like 5 beers a night. Now,
well, you're getting $5 a day then, or $5 a night.
No,
for each beer.
No.
Oh, really?
$1 for being the servant the whole night giving the beer.
That sucks.
Yeah, but I don't know. My mom also, when I was a kid and I wanted an allowance, she was like, okay, how about $2 a week?
How old were you?
I don't know. I was in like 5th or 6th grade,
but
like everybody else, I was in a rich area. Everybody else got an allowance that was like at least $10 a week. And she was like, $2. I don't know. Anyway, that is not important. I just thought it was crazy that they had this giant table with this huge spread of food. Like it was a holiday, but it was just a regular day. And then the next day we see Mom, Janice, at lunch with her friends. And one of them is RuPaul. Mm-hmm. Obviously out of drag.
Yes.
So this is But I'm a Cheerleader era.
But he's so recognizable. So it's like, how do you not know? Yeah.
Yeah. And then the other lady is named Beth. And so I said, it seems like Janice is okay with the gays because she's friends with RuPaul. He's obviously a gay man.
Yeah.
It's not like But I'm a Cheerleader where he's like, I'm an ex-gay.
RuPaul in real life.
Yeah. I mean, he's just pretty obviously gay.
Yeah.
And then we see Janice and Jane walking and eating ice cream and talking about boys. And Jane asks when Janice first had sex, and she's like, obviously I was 21. And so she doesn't want to tell her, obviously, whatever. And then she tells Jane she never had a passion for any of her jobs. She used to be a dancer and she used to be a writer, but her true passion is being a mother. So, okay, we're like, she's obsessed with being a mom. Yeah. So you'd think that she would be accepting if her child was gay, but she's not. We'll find that out. In school the next day, we see a new girl come into Jane's English class, and her name is Taylor, and Jane is obviously attracted to her and vice versa because they're looking at each other, and there's that lesbian eye contact, and we're like, oh, something's gonna happen. In the narration, Jane says Taylor ends up changing her life, so we're like, okay, gay. Taylor asks Jane for some help with English stuff, and they sit together on the grass to work on it. And then her old bitchy friends show up, and they seem like really judgy. It's like, that's so weird. Why wouldn't they be like, oh, a new girl? Maybe she can be all of our friend. Instead, they're like, ew, you're just going to hang out with this girl? And then they invite... This was also rude. They invite Jane to the movies right in front of Taylor, but don't invite Taylor, which I think is just so rude. Like, you should probably wait until you're not in front of someone else to invite them. And Jane is like, no, I can't go because I'm babysitting my brother. And then Taylor's like, oh, can I come over if you're going to be at home and we'll work on the English stuff at your house while you're babysitting? And she's like, okay. So then that night, Taylor comes over. They sit really close on the couch, and it's cute. And then we see a montage of them talking and becoming friends and making eye contact. And then
the eye contact.
And then Jane realizes she has a crush on Taylor. And so she kind of says that in the narration. She's like, oh, I realize I have a crush on a girl. And then Taylor and Jane go to the movies together. And the boy from the beginning with the 90s spiky hair comes to talk to Jane. And Taylor's like, wow, he definitely has a crush on you. I don't blame him. Like, she's like so like flirty with it.
Like, oh.
And then I feel like Jane is like, oh my God. And then another day at school, Taylor isn't in class, and Jane is like so distracted and sad. And then after school, Jane goes to her house, and Taylor's like, why are you here? And she said, well, I called to check on you and you didn't answer. And Taylor's like, I'm fine. I just can't come to school for a while. And then we hear her mom yelling in the background. So she's got some issues going on at home. And then at school, that boy, I'm sure he has a name, but I just call him the boy.
I don't remember his name either.
The boy asked Jane to hang out sometime, and she's like, oh, I don't want a boyfriend. And he's like, okay, but do you want a friend? And she's like, yeah. And I think that's really sweet.
I think so too.
But also it reminds me of, it was like a meme about like, there was like a girl on the bus that had like a piece of lettuce on her head. You know what I'm talking about? And it was like a guy being like, I tried to tell this girl that she had lettuce on her head, and she said, I have a boyfriend. Like, okay, whatever, lettuce head. So anyway, that's all I thought of. It's like, because, the instant reaction is like, oh, this guy's trying to hit on me. He's like, I was literally just trying to tell this girl she had lettuce on her head, but whatever, you can walk around with it. Anyway, so... I think it's sweet that he wants to be her friend.
Yeah.
And then at dinner with her family, Jane is being kind of bratty. And it's because she's having a lot of feelings and she can't talk to anyone about them. And then that evening, Janice comes to talk to Jane about how she hasn't been acting like herself lately. And like, will you please talk to me and tell me what's going on? And she's like, I can tell you anything, but Jane like knows that she can't tell her this. Like she kind of is like, I don't think she will accept this. And then Taylor knocks on the door and Jane is like, oh my God, she's so excited. And she's like fixing her hair. Like, and then Taylor tells Jane that her mom blames her for the divorce. So Taylor's parents are divorced and her mom blames her and she abuses her physically and verbally. So that's really sad. And then Jane comforts her by moving her hair out of her face. And then they hold hands.
Yeah.
That's very sweet. And then they kiss. Oh my God, they kiss. I was like, are they not going to kiss yet? They're just going to be like,
it's what should have happened in Foxfire when they were like caressing like the hair.
Yes.
Yeah. But this is actually gay. So.
They did kiss. And then Jane in the narration is like, does this mean I'm gay? No, it's just a crush. But she doesn't seem that sure. I think she's like, oh my God, maybe I am gay. Okay.
Yeah.
So then in the morning, Jane tells her mom that she has plans with Taylor after school. And the mom is like, why don't you hang out with your old friends? So I feel like the mom doesn't like Taylor.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, I am still friends with my old friends, but I feel like she's just saying that to appease her mom because her old friends seem like bitches and they are not sitting together anymore or like anything. It's just Taylor and Jane together all the time. And they hold hands when they're walking home. And that's cute. And then we see Jane, I think Janice telling the husband she feels worried. Yeah, we see Janice telling the husband, the dad, that she's worried that Jane is only hanging out with Taylor all the time and not dating. And the dad is like, that's okay. I prefer she never date a boy at all.
I'm like,
maybe he'll get his wish.
Exactly.
And then Taylor invites Jane over to her house while her mom is out of town. I was like, oh my God, they're going to fuck. And then Janice and Jane get into an argument and she seems to blame Taylor for the distance between them. And then when Jane goes over to Taylor's house, she has candles all over the room. And I'm like, oh, she knew they were going to fuck. She was like, yeah. But also like a fire hazard. I was really worried because also in Foxfire, there was a fire. And so I was just like, they're going to burn everything down.
That is a fire hazard. Yes. There's so many candles.
And then they have sex and we get a weird foot close-up. And I am very sensitive to close-ups of feet because I feel like that there's a lot of shows and movies that do that. And I feel like it's because all the directors are creepy and have a foot fetish. I don't know. I don't really like feet. So I'm like, knock it off. I don't want to see them.
Maybe they were trying to decide like what is appropriate to do a close-up of. I know. Their foot.
Yeah,
they didn't want to show
kind of provocative,
like their other body parts. So they're like, look at this foot.
Yeah. Oh, sexual. Okay. So then at school, Jane tells Taylor that she thinks what they did was a mistake and it isn't normal. And Taylor's like, what is normal? And she's like, this doesn't mean you're gay. And even if you are, who cares? And so they get into a tiff, and then we see Jane eating all by herself and Taylor walking by with a bunch of boys. So she's like, okay, I'll show you. I'll show you normal. I'll be with like 5 boys. Like she walks by with all of these guys. I just feel like she's trying to make her jealous. And then at the movies, Jane sees Taylor with a boy, and she talks to the boy that likes her, spiky hair. Yeah. I did find his name is Ned.
Oh, really?
So she talks to Ned.
Ned? I don't remember that, but that's weird. I'm sorry.
That's an old man name. Like
the fuck?
Ned Flanders. Isn't that the Simpsons neighbor?
Yeah.
It's an old man name. Anyway, then we see Janice with her friends at lunch complaining about how Jane doesn't want to hang out with her anymore. And they're like, maybe you should give her some time and space.
Yeah.
And at school, Jane asks Taylor if they can talk. And she says, I really hope that we can have another chance at us. And Taylor's like, there is no us. I only want to be with people that know that they want to be with me. So she knows her worth. And Ms. Walcott sees and brings her into her office to talk about it. And Jane starts crying. And she tells Ms. Walcott that she had sex with someone and they broke up and she feels like a coward. And Ms. Walcott tries to give her advice and says, if you want to be with them, you need to tell them that. You should try again. Try writing a letter. And so at home, Janice asks Jane again to talk to her, and Jane is like, no, I need to be alone. But it's because she wants to write the letter to Taylor.
Yeah.
And she's like, get out of
She's
here,
like,
Mom.
Goodbye.
Yeah. And she tells her how she took her breath away when she first met her and a bunch of like mushy stuff. And at school the next day, Jane's old friends are being bitchy. Again, they're just bitches. And then while Jane's parents are out, Taylor comes over and tells Jane she got the letter, and they go to her room to talk. And Taylor says there was never anyone else. And they make out, and the brother sees through the door crack.
Yeah, I know. They didn't shut the
little
door all the way.
asshole. Yeah. And then the next day, we see the old friends, those bitchy girls, gossiping because apparently the brother told his friends, and it's a small town, so word gets around. So they're like, oh my God, gay. They were kissing. Ew. And then we see Janice get a call on the home phone from someone saying that her daughter Jane is a lesbian, and she's freaking out. She's like, who would say such a thing?
She's like lies.
Yeah, she's so upset about it. And then she tells the dad, and he's like, oh, it's probably just a prank. And then the dad's like, well, maybe they were kissing, but it was just practice for boys. Girls
when
do
he
that,
said that,
right?
it made me think of you.
I know. I'm like, we're practicing.
Oh
it was so funny. And then they go talk to Jane about it because they think it was a prank, and they sit on her bed to confront her, and it's literally so dramatic. And then the parents are like, okay, we know it's just gossip, but it's like really messed up. And Jane is all silent because she can tell they'd be upset because they're like acting like this is the worst thing they could hear. And obviously it's a lie, right? You know? And then she tells her dad, yeah, we were just practicing. Yeah. And he's like, I knew it.
He's like, oh my God. Just girls being girls.
Yeah, obviously. And then the parents are like, oh, I'm so glad. And then the narrator version of Jane talks about how she is a coward because she's ashamed of her feelings. And she feels upset about herself feeling scared of what other people would think. She's like, why do I care that much, you know? And then she goes to visit RuPaul because he's probably the only gay person she knows. And she's like, what's that TikTok sound? I need to talk to a gay person.
Kathy Griffin. Yeah, she's like, no, I need to talk to a gay person.
Oh, I only know one gay person. It's my mom's friend. So,
Jimmy.
I never wrote his name. Yeah, his name
is just RuPaul.
It's Jimmy, but he's RuPaul.
Yeah.
And so she tells him the truth and that she lied to her mom.
Yeah.
Because she is gay, but she didn't tell her mom. And he comforts her, and it's very sweet. And he says, you will get a thick skin and learn not to take it personally, but because the hate is based on ignorance and fear. And she says she doesn't know how long she can keep it a secret. And he says that she will know when the time is right, and he promises he won't tell her mom. And at school, kids are making fun of Jane and Taylor because of the rumors. And then at dinner, her brother calls her a dyke, and then she attacks him. And I wish she hurt him more. And then the parents get mad at her, like, you can't attack your brother. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, he can't call his sister a dyke. Like,
they're like, you cannot do that to your brother.
Yeah. And then she's like, by the way, it's not gossip. I am a lesbian. And then they're like, what the fuck? They're very upset. And she's like, I don't get why it's wrong to care about each other. And the dad is like, because it isn't right. And then they do that thing where they tell her she can't know she's gay because she's too young and it's just a phase. And she's like, it's not a phase. And I am gay. And I'm so proud of her. She's like, no, don't tell me who I am. I know who I am.
Exactly.
And then she gives this sweet little speech about how she and Taylor care about each other so much and why should it matter that she's a girl. And the mom is like, it does matter. And I'm like, ew. And she's like, aren't you friends with RuPaul? Aren't you friends with Jimmy?
She's like, hello, your friend is gay.
Yeah. And she's like, well, he isn't my daughter. And I'm like, ew, I hate that. There's a thing that I feel like a lot of homophobic straight people do where they're like, I'm not homophobic because I have a gay friend. But like if it was my family member, I wouldn't be okay with it. And it's like, so you are homophobic.
Yep.
And do you really believe that that person is equal to you? Like I think I've talked about this before. People that we've known that have said, well, I love you guys, but I think that gay marriage is wrong because it's a slippery slope.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? So you are saying you love me and you respect our relationship, but you don't think I deserve the same rights that your relationship has. So you don't respect our relationship.
Absolutely,
and you don't take it seriously. So that's what Stockard Channing's character was giving in this. And then the parents walk away, and Janice is thinking she did something bad as a mother, and that's why she's gay. She's like, what did I do so bad as a mother? It's like, girl, this is not about you. Like, shut up. I wrote, way to make this about yourself, cunt. I cracked myself up. Okay. And then the dad is like, we need to be calm. And she's like, what? Are you saying that we act like it's okay for her to be gay? And he's like, no, but we have to help her through it. Like, she's our daughter.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm not going to help my daughter become a lesbian. And I was like, she's already a lesbian. She's not becoming one.
I know.
And then the mom goes to see Jimmy, and she tells him that Jane is gay. And he's like, yeah, she already told me. But she was scared to tell you because she thought you would hate her.
Yeah.
And he's like, why can't you love her like you love me? And she says, well, I don't want her to have a hard life like you have. And I want to protect her because people are so mean to gay people. And he's like, well, then your concern should be making sure you're not one of those people that's mean to gay people.
Exactly.
Like, not worrying about how other people might react to your daughter. And he says, Jane should be able to be who she is, even if it's not who you want her to be. And she said, no, she will be who I want. And he's like, you'll regret this until you die. And she said, okay, that's my choice. And I don't understand. I mean, I do, because a lot of people are stupid, but it's like, how can you have a child and just like put all of these expectations on who they're going to be? Like, they're going to be a human being with their own brain and their own like body, and they're going to make their own choices, and you can't decide. Like, it's like the people that are like, you know, try to live vicariously through them. Like,
oh my God,
I wanted to play football, but I got hurt. So my son is going to be a football star. It's like, you don't know if he's going to like football. Like, and you don't know, like, people have these expectations of like, well, something that the mom says is like, well, I wanted to like see her on her wedding day and blah, 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 which is like, first of all, she could still get married. But secondly, why are you putting all these expectations on her? Like, she might, even if she was straight, she might not be the type of person that wants to get married. Like, you know,
or have children.
And it's like, it's just so weird to me. And then the parents send her to therapy, and she doesn't want to share, but she tells the therapist that she's mad at her mom because she's a bigot. And then we see Janice and her friend Beth at lunch, and Beth tells Janice that she is overreacting and it's probably a phase, but even if it isn't, you should just accept her. And if you don't accept her, you're not a good mom.
I was like, okay, Beth.
And then Janice gets so mad and like storms off. And then we see Taylor and Jane hanging out, and Taylor is like, we are so special and gay. I don't know if she said those exact words, but that's what I wrote.
She did say special.
So special.
Yeah.
And Jane is like, but we can't even go anywhere. Nowhere is safe. And Taylor's like, I'll take you somewhere safe on Friday night. And then they go to this little gay rave in their town. And it's so weird because it's like a tiny like warehouse room.
I know. So secret though. I mean, they had to be, right?
It's so interesting. And Jane is amazed because she doesn't believe that there are that many gays in this town.
Yeah.
And they're dancing and it's so cute. And then she gets home at 4 a.m. and the parents are yelling at her and they're like, you're grounded. And then in the morning, the dad says they need to talk. And she's like, what is this about? And he says, we're upset because this decision to be a lesbian could change your whole life. And she's like, yeah, I know, but you're supposed to love me no matter what. And the dad says he will always love her. And then we see Ned, the boy that likes her, tell her he will still be her friend.
I love Ned.
Sweet. Yeah.
I can't get over the fact that his name is Ned, but I really liked his character. I thought he was a solid friend.
I know. I love him. He's a lesbro. And then Taylor and Jane are having lunch, and Taylor is like, by the way, this isn't going to work. We should break up.
Dude,
so fucked up.
I know, honestly. I'm like, imagine going through all that, and then in the middle of it, you're going through a fucking breakup.
Yes.
And you're first.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And she's like, I love you. And Taylor's like, no, you don't. You'll get over it. Like, it's just because I was your first. Like, you think you love me.
You'll get over it.
Or
You're
whatever.
fine.
And I'm like, oh my God, so sad. And then she just leaves her there alone and she's like sitting on the grass, like at school by herself. And then Ms. Walcott comes and talks to her. And Jane tells her that Taylor said it was just a fling and it's so sad. And then Ms. Walcott is like, you know what? The first girl I ever dated dumped me too. And so now we know she is gay.
Yeah.
And if the short hair didn't tell us, we know she's gay.
And being an English teacher.
Yes, I know. And Jane is like, no way, you're gay? And she's like, yeah. But please don't tell people.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, I feel like it's still like this. It's kind of very dramatic to be a gay teacher because there are parents that will be like, that's not okay. That
you can't teach my kid. You're going to teach them how to be gay.
Yeah. It's like okay, whatever. And then she said, yeah, my first girlfriend dumped me to date a boy. And that was really hard. But eventually we became friends, which is so lesbian.
That is.
Like, of course I'm friends with her now. And then she asked Miss Walcott when she knew she was gay. And she said from the start, she never felt connected to a man the way she did with women. Mm-hmm. And then we're at dinner at home, I think. And Jane tells her parents that Taylor broke up with her because of them. And the dad tries to comfort her. And the mom is a bitch and is like, cool, maybe that'll put an end to this nonsense. And it's like, ew, you're such a bitch. Mm-hmm. And then the dad is like, you should be more comforting. Our daughter has a broken heart. Like the dad is like, he's a little homophobic, but he is also like realizing that he loves his daughter no matter what. And he wants to be able to support her. And the mom is so stuck on this, like, being really upset that she's a lesbian. And then that night, Jane goes to the gay rave by herself and has fun, but then she gets caught sneaking back in drunk. And then they ground her again. And then at school, her old friends are being bitches again, and they call her a dyke. And then she tries to beat them up, or one of them up. And then the principal calls the mom, and Jane gets suspended. And as they're leaving school, some boys are all gross and mean to her. And then the mom looks sad, and Jane is like, oh, why do you care? Aren't you one of them? And it's like, boom, bitch. I hope that hurt.
I thought that was going to be the moment where she's like, you're so right. But she's still a fucking bitch.
She's such a bitch.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the parents are like, being gay isn't normal. And she's like, Jimmy's normal. Ms. Walcott's normal. And I'm like, this dumb bitch. Ms. Walcott said, don't tell anyone. And she's like,
okay, but to be
Ms.
fair,
Walcott.
It was like a very emotional moment. Like they were arguing and she was trying to make a point. But then she's like, ooh, like I shouldn't have said
stupid
that.
Idiot. Then she gets them all upset with Ms. Walcott.
Yeah.
So then they freak out. And then I'm like, she's going to get Ms. Walcott fired. What the fuck? And then the dad comforts Jane while the mom takes off to go to the school and be a homophobe. And then she goes into Ms. Walcott's classroom and tells her to stay away from Jane or she'll get her fired. And then at home, the parents tell her they're going to send her to a boarding school. And the dad tells the mom he doesn't really want to send her away. And so now we know that that was all the mom's idea.
Yeah.
And he's like backing her up because he's married to her and
yeah.
feels like he has to. And then we see Jane go to a payphone and find Ms. Walcott's address from the phone book. Have you ever used the phone book?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Vintage.
We used to have one because we still had like a little home phone. So my mom would be like, here, go look up that person, go look them up. And then I was like, oh my God, are we listed? And she's like, no.
Oh, yeah.
But I was like thinking, you know, how they're like, you can always find yourself on there. I try to look for myself on there. I wasn't on there.
Well, you were a child, or also because your family's wasn't listed?
Yes. But yes.
Yes. Okay. Then since she goes to the address and Ms. Walcott invites her in, and then we meet her wife or girlfriend, and it's very sweet and so good for Jane to see a happy lesbian couple. Yes. And it's like, I just want to be that for younger gays to see. I don't know.
You are.
It's
we don't
so
know
sweet.
Who's watching, right?
Oh, I know. Oh, so cute. And then I know that's why I always post on my like personal TikTok like things of Wa and I together, because I'm like, maybe some little baby gay will see this and be like, oh my God, old lesbians. Like, what was the one someone commented that one thing like, oh, it's great to see the older gays settling down.
You're like,
not that old, but thank you. Okay. Okay. So anyway. Jane tells Miss Walcott that her parents are going to send her away and everyone hates her and she doesn't want to live anymore. So basically she is saying that she is suicidal.
Yeah.
And then Ms. Walcott goes to the parents' house and tells them what happened and is like, you need to listen to me. And the mom keeps referring to being gay as a choice and saying you shouldn't be teaching girls and blah, blah, blah. And she basically ignores her and is like, your child ran away from your house because she thinks you hate her. And she is still the same person that you used to adore. And she mentioned she doesn't want to live anymore. And so if you really care about her, you will do something about it. And Janice is like, I do adore her. I just want to protect her from people like you, which is like so stupid. Anyway, Ms. Walcott is like, you're going to lose her forever if you don't accept her. Then the parents go to Ms. Walcott's house, and Janice asks to talk to Jane alone. So they leave her alone in the living room to talk to her. And she tells Jane what Ms. Walcott said, and that she loves her and she doesn't want to lose her. And she tells her that her first reaction when she told them she was gay was that she didn't want her life to be any harder than it had to be. And she continues to make it about herself because she's like, well, I had dreams that you'd meet a man and get married and have kids. It's like so annoying. And Jane is like, well, those are your dreams.
Yeah.
And Mom is like, yeah, I know that. And then Janice asks her when she first felt that she was, and she's like afraid to say the word. And Jane is like, a lesbian? And she's like, it's okay. You can say it without becoming one. And then they kind of like laugh. And she's like, I always knew I was different, but it became more clear in the last year. And she asks, what's the hardest part about it? And Jane says that the people you care about will hate you.
Literally, she's been the hardest part about it. Like,
exactly. And Jane says, I'm not going to change, and I know that you want me to. So what do we do? Yeah. And Janice is like, I don't know. Let's just both try harder. And I think that's a stupid thing to say because does she want her to try harder to not be gay? Like, that's stupid.
I know. I'm like, you mean you try?
You try harder to not be such a stupid bitch. And so she says, I don't know if I'm ever going to accept it, but we'll take it day by day. It's like, ugh. Stupid. And then another day, we see Janice and Jane shopping, and she invites her to go to a PFLAG meeting, which is Parents and Friends of Lesbians and Gays. And they go to the meeting, and the mom is kind of a bitch, like always. The mom seems to soften a bit when she hears the other parents talking. So something's getting through to her, at least like hearing the other moms talk about having gay kids. The dad... Oh, wait, they have a barbecue and the brother calls her a dyke and the mom sticks up for her for once, which is sweet. And then the dad tells her later that he is proud of her. And Janice is like, well, yeah, I'm just acting. And it's like, oh my God, why is she such a bitch? And then at school, Ned got in a fight over being her friend. And he is such a good friend. And then the dad I thought this was so funny. The dad takes Jane to watch sports and she's like, just because I'm gay doesn't mean I like sports now. And he's like, oh, what do lesbians like to do? Like, what a weirdo. She's still your daughter. She's still the same person that she was a few weeks ago before you knew she was gay. And she's like the same things I always like to do. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then at home, Jane thanks her parents for trying to show her that they still love her, but that they don't have to try so hard. And then we see Janice go to another meeting on her own, but she still can't say that her daughter is a lesbian out loud. And then at dinner with friends and family, Janice says she still isn't ready to shout it from the rooftops. So annoying. And then that night, Janice knocks on the door to Jane's room, but she opens it and then says, can I come in? And I don't understand. I hate when people do that. It's like, you're already fucking in here. It's stupid. And then she tells Jane that she'll keep trying. And Jane is like, okay, it's just that you don't really accept me if you don't do it out in the open.
Yeah.
And she's like, sorry, I can't. Like, why? I found this with like a lot of people. People care so much about what other people think. Like, that is like a big thing for her, but it's also a big thing for a lot of people in real life. Like, and I see it on like, you know, stupid shows that I watch, like 90 Day Fiance, but it's always like, what will we tell the family? What will we tell the neighborhood about you marrying this foreign person? You know, and it's like, who fucking cares what the neighbors think about you?
I know.
Like, I don't know. It's just so weird to me. Like, you can't live your life for other people. Ridiculous. And so, then we see a gay pride rally in town and the family and friends are there, but we don't see Janice. And so like Jane is there with like, I think her dad is there.
Like everyone in her family's there, like her brother
and then like Jimmy and Beth.
Yeah.
And then we see Ms. Walcott and her wife and they come and say hi to Jane.
Oh, yeah.
And it's very sweet. And Ms. Walcott says she isn't really afraid of people seeing her there anymore. So she's like, I'm ready to like live my truth out loud. Then the other members of PFLAG see Jane and ask her where Janice is. And she's like, oh, she isn't there. And they're like, you know, sometimes it takes longer. I didn't come to the first one, blah, blah, blah. And then we see Janice show up. And it's very heartwarming that she decided to finally show up for her daughter.
Yeah.
And that's basically how it ends. At the end, the movie says it's dedicated
I know.
It's dedicated to Matthew Shepard and all the other people that love different. And it's so sweet. So I really like this movie, you guys. Okay, so it's time for Munch, Merge, Murder. So our options are Ms. Walcott, which I don't know if we ever hear her first name. She's just
I
Ms.
literally
Walcott.
don't remember her first name.
So Ms. Walcott, Janice, and Beth. And I don't know. What are you thinking, girl?
Well, okay. I feel like I would merge with Miss Walcott.
Yeah.
I think she's attractive and she's gay.
Mhm.
I would probably munch Beth and then murder Janice just because I feel like she was such a bitch in this movie. And it's like, no, girl, I can't. What about you?
Well, I would also merge with Miss Walcott because she's actually gay.
Yeah.
And she's pretty. But
you're like,
I think
those eyes.
Yes! I was like, she has really pretty eyes. I would munch Janice and I would show her the time of her life. And she would be like, oh my God,
She's like, I'm actually a lesbian.
Yes! She'd be like, wait, I didn't know.
She's just jealous that her daughter was out before her.
Exactly. And I would have to murder Beth. So sorry.
I could see that. Beth, to me, yeah, I could see that. I just couldn't get past Janice. Though,
I know. So, I understand.
Yeah.
And so let's rate this movie on a scale of 1 to 5. What would you rate it?
I feel like I already know what yours is also going to be. For me, at least, though, I want to say if this was a really good movie with an important message. So I'm going to give it a 5.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I gave it a 4. I really, really liked it, but I just was like, I don't know. I was also thinking of when Victoria was on and she was like, a 5 is like the best movie ever that will always stay with you. So now I've been like, I don't know, maybe
everything's a 4.
Maybe I've been giving too many 5s.
Now we switched because I used to do 5s and I used to do 4s, but I'm like, I really like this movie. So
I know, I did really like it. I don't know if we were doing 0.5s, it would be a 4.5. Okay, but it's a 4 right now. So if you're enjoying But I'm a Lesbian, please head over to our Instagram or TikTok and follow to stay up to date on our newest episodes and hottest takes. We're now accepting questions for our Dear Dykes advice segment. Send in your dilemmas and get help from us, your favorite lesbian podcasters. There is a link to the job form in the description of this episode, as well as on our link tree on all social media pages. Visit our Patreon to join and get access to ad-free episodes, bonus content, and more.
Welcome back. Today we are doing cookie jar questions.
Yay!
Yeah. Do you want to go first?
Yeah. Okay. Oh, no.
Was it a bad one?
No, it's just hard. What would your But I'm a Lesbian drag names be? So what would have you thought about this?
Wow. No, I've never thought about this.
Me either. That's why I was like, this is hard, girl.
Dang. Okay. Oh my God. I don't know. What would our drag names be? I keep thinking of that thing that they say that your stripper name is like the street you grew up on and like your pet or something.
Yeah.
But I'm like, that's really not going to work for me.
Why? What is it?
It's like, isn't it just like your first pet or something?
Yeah, but what is that?
Would be actually, no, it's not Prince. It would be my bird that I had, Tweety. And I grew up on College Street. So,
Tweety College.
I mean, okay.
Welcome to the stage, Tweety College.
We're your hosts, Tweety College.
Yes. Okay, well, if we were to do it like that, I think it would be Razzle was the cat that my parents had when I was born. So it would be Razzle Lawton.
Oh. Which give them the old razzle dazzle.
Razzle dazzle. Yeah, so maybe it would be like a razzle dazzle.
Okay, razzle dazzle.
Okay, that's it. I don't know. I'm not that good at this. I've never thought about a drag name before.
Me either. That was kind of hard, but okay. You're stranded on I don't wanted to say. Okay, you're stranded on an island, but you have unlimited access to one snack. What is it?
I don't know. Okay, is it the only food that I can eat? So it has to be something like a nutritionally complete, you know?
Yeah, it's
Or
only.
is there other food around? Like, should it be a protein bar? Because, like, I need to get
That's
my
true.
protein
It's
in.
unlimited too. So what is it? And you're stranded on an island.
Okay, well, I'm torn because I love a lot of snacks, but I'm trying to make it be like kind of healthy. So I was like, I love Louisville vegan jerky.
Oh, that would be good.
I would probably want to have that. My other item that would also get my protein in, but is sweet, would be Misfits protein bars, the cookie dough flavor, which I think they might have discontinued, but it's a magical desert island, so they have them there.
Exactly.
What would you choose?
I don't know. It's kind of. The first thing that popped into my head was mozzarella sticks.
I was like, it has to be healthy and have like.
I know when you started saying that, I was like,
know, I was being practical. Mozzarella sticks with marinara sauce, or do you dip it in ranch?
I do like both. Okay, honestly, but like I'd be lucky if it was just the mozzarella sticks. But then I'd also get tired of that pretty quickly, and I wouldn't. Yeah, I'd be wasting away just on my mozzarella sticks. Actually, no, because
hot stickers.
Oh my, that could work. But then I want to also have the edamame and everything, and it's only one.
Only one.
Yeah, so that's my answer.
Nice. Okay, so which mundane activity are you way too competitive about?
Oh. Maybe, I don't know. Well,
are you competitive about any random things?
I feel like the only thing that I can think of that I'm like, I do it better than Yami is laundry.
Oh my God.
When we do it, like sometimes she says that I'm bossy when we do it because I'm like, here, I'll do this. And I like give her a task to do. She's like, no, it's got to be like a switch, whatever. Like sometimes, you know, you don't have to like, I mean, I'm bossy with that, at least. Not with a lot of other stuff, honestly.
Yeah.
And so then when she's doing it, I'm just like, oh my God, like I can do that
You suck at this.
I'm like trying not to say anything. She's not doing anything wrong. I just think I'm like, there's a more efficient way to do it. So then when we're like we both take out stuff out of the dryer or we're like folding, I'm like done faster. So I'm like, oh my God, I did it faster.
Yes.
But I think she's that way about cooking. So yeah, we all have our strengths and weaknesses.
I know.
What about you?
I feel like I'm not that competitive about a lot of things, but something that I do pride myself on being good at, which is kind of stupid, is typing. I'm like a really fast typer.
Honestly, you were typing really fast earlier.
When was I typing?
Like on the computer?
Oh, yeah. I was like, earlier? What? Okay, yeah.
You took a break to type in between.
I was like, no, like I used to like take typing tests for fun.
Oh,
and so I really like to type. I don't know. So I guess in a way I could be competitive about that because I do get kind of mad. Like there was one guy at my work and we were bored and we were taking typing tests when we were like in class when we like first started, and he was faster than me. He was like at 110 and I was at 98, and I was so mad at myself. I was like, I'm such a loser. Why do I suck?
You're like going home and practicing every night.
Yes, I'm like, I have to beat Michael. Okay, your turn.
Okay. Oh my gosh. If you were arrested with no explanation, what would your friends assume you did?
I don't know. What would you assume I did, girl?
I feel like I could think of one thing. Maybe. Actually, no, maybe a couple things, but nothing bad. I feel like maybe you'd be arrested for like freeing animals from somewhere.
Oh my God, I probably would. I'd be one of those people that goes to prison for saving chickens.
Yeah.
From the farm.
I could see that
thing. Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
I know when you guys said, I'm like, actually I could see a couple things. You're like, what?
I know, I was like, what would I do?
What could I possibly do? I have no idea what I would do, honestly.
No,
I'm like,
you're so nice. What would you do? I don't even feel like you like crash out and go off on people? Because that was my first thought for me, like that I would be like, I get mad about something and be a Karen.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then they arrest you for that?
They're like, this bitch.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
Angie would never get arrested. That's the moral of this story. We would be like shocked.
And then we post my mugshot the next time.
Oh my God.
That I accidentally got.
So I did have a mugshot because I got arrested when I was 21. Mm-hmm. And I was really sad that I never saw it on any of those hotties. You know, the mugshot hotties or whatever, jail hotties.
Yeah.
I don't even know if those existed in 2012, but I was really sad because I was like, I thought I looked really hot in that picture. And I can't find it anywhere.
They don't have it anywhere?
No, I can't find it. I've looked it up. And then also, this is how sad and like deeply ingrained diet culture is to me. When I was looking at the police report and it has like your height and build or whatever, he described my build as medium, and I was so happy that he didn't describe it as large. And I'm like, that's so sad. I literally got arrested. I was doing something bad, and I was like flattered that the cop was like, I was like, so you think I'm skinny? That's how I felt. So sad.
My God.
Anywho, do we have time for one more? No, we're done, girl.
Yeah, we're done.
Okay, so thank you for tuning in to But I'm a Lesbian. We are your go-to for sapphic media reviews, WLW drama, and unfiltered queer takes. If you enjoyed the show, please like, share, and subscribe on every platform. The most important thing that you can do to support a podcast is leave us a rating and or a review. That really helps for people to find us when there are more ratings. And also, I really love reading the reviews. So if you listen or watch on any sort of platform where you can leave a review, it warms our hearts to read those. So please help support our lesbian-led pod. And, we love you guys. We're almost at the end of the second season, which is wild. This is not scripted, you guys. I'm going off script. You know those dramatic like speeches where people throw this. Anyway, I just am really excited because I can't believe that we are this far into our second season. And we are very lucky. By the time this episode is out, the cat will be out of the bag, whatever. I hate that saying, but we are on Tello now. So you might be watching this on Tello, which is wild. Yeah. That we watched that platform, watched originals and other movies on that platform. We interviewed the creator, and now we're available on their platform.
I know.
And that is such a big deal, you guys. So thank you to everybody that has followed us, has listened. If you've listened to one episode, if you are on TikTok and have liked any of our stories or posts, we are very thankful to you. So anywho, okay, Angie, tell them what's happening next week. Sorry.
That's okay. So tune in next week where we will be reviewing Boys on the Side, the 1995. This is what it's described as, a comedy/drama.
A dramedy.
Yes. Available on Plex and Apple TV.
Yes, we will
see you next Tuesday.
Executive producers for But I'm a Lesbian are Caitlin Beatty and Angelina Herrera. Produced and mixed by Victoria Shiflett. Creative direction and video editing provided by Juanita Iriarte. Music by Stiletto Falsetto.